the meeting on time. And thanks to each one of you guys for being there present on time for us to get the meeting started. So it's my debut meeting today. So 143 is significant from that point of view, Niyamat, Toastmaster Niyamat. And the other significance, what I thought it would be, is it totals up to number 9, which is a universal number. And it's a very, very significant number. If you Google number 9 to see why it is significant, you'll know what. No, it does not. It totals up to 8. Okay, that shows my nervousness on the debut meeting. So forgive me for that. So the most exciting part of being a debutant with a lot of positive news is something that I cannot explain. So the first thing that before we actually begin with all the positive news, the first thing I would like to do is invite our friends at BKC Fireflies, which is Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti and Toastmaster Aditya. And we would also have Toastmaster Pratibha, right? Is she there on the call?
I don't think she's joined the meeting yet. Pratibha hasn't joined the meeting yet.
Okay, so have I missed anybody out in terms of our friends from our friends?
Srinidhi and Mahesh, Mansa, they're all first timers, I think.
They're guests. Yes, so we have we have a guest in our midst. So Mansa, may I request you to please turn on your video so that we can all take a look at you? Mansa, are you able to hear me? Okay, so while she takes her time to do that, I'll get on to the exciting news. We have 2 new members in our team today, and I'd like to extend a heartwarming welcome on behalf of BKC Fireflies to these 2 members, Toastmaster for the future, Tushar and Ibrahim. Can we have you guys spotlighted?
They are not in the meeting yet. So
they aren't in the meeting as well. Oh,
you can talk to Mahesh.
Are they planning to join?
I'm not sure. You can talk to Mahesh maybe. He's a guest.
Sorry, whom did you say?
Mahesh is a guest, so maybe you can have a chat with him.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Toastmaster Mahesh. You are a new face. Could you be spotlighted, please?
All right, let me do that.
Yes, Toastmaster Mahesh, welcome to the BKC Fireflies meeting. So tell us something about what brings you here and how excited are you to be a part of the meeting?
To be very honest, I have been very intrigued by this particular Toastmasters club, and I've been wanting to join it for a long time. And thankfully, today, I don't know about the significance of 143, but numbers aligned today, and I could join on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm part of Readers and Debaters Toastmasters Club, and I've been wanting to be part of this meeting for a long time. So I'm very happy I'm part of this meeting. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's excellent. We are excited to have you as well. So welcome. The next important news that I needed to give all of you, thanks to our XCOM that have just, handed over the reins to us, we have been announced as a select distinguished club for 23-24. We have met about 8 criterias, so we have to be proud of ourselves. And I want to say a big thank you to Toastmaster Sandhya, Toastmaster Sai, and Toastmaster Cyril for taking us to this extent where we could be a select distinguished club. And you have put a lot of pressure on the new XCOM members because now we just have to take that forward and go to the next level. So that's a good pressure to have, but it is a glorious moment for us. Having said that, we do not have the two members to welcome. So we will make another few announcements. Some things that we wanted to tell you was that the new XCOM members, I think you guys have been introduced to, but in the next meeting, I will try and have all the XCOM members so that you can look at the faces of them and you can reach out to them. We are having a lot of new things that we are planning to introduce in the coming meetings. So you will see a couple of changes, positive changes that we will be soon introducing. We are in the making right now, we are in the planning stage under the guidance of Toastmaster Sai, Toastmaster Sandhya, and Toastmaster Cyril. We will develop some real exciting things that will help us move to the next level that we plan to do. Yes, so yeah, sorry, my role changes again. So with that, I have one question to ask you all, and it is related to the topic and not related to the topic as well. Okay, so that's a riddle. And I want you guys to unmute and answer that question for me. If you call a person who speaks two languages bilingual, then what will you call a man who has two donkeys? Anybody?
Dongle.
Biased. I got it. Biased.
Yeah, with a S silent, it's a biased, but with an S silent, we'll call it biased. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for that very unusual and quirky introduction I've ever had in my life, Toastmaster Cynthia. Well. I don't know what 143 exactly means, but I grew up watching Tamil and Telugu movies, rom-com mainly, and I'd like to believe that 143 means I love you, and or probably I hate you. So yeah, the mathematicians out there, I hope you don't pick up a fight with me and you validate what the real answer is. Thank you very much. All right. Before I start anything about the theme, anything about what I'm going to do here, what the meeting is going to be like, I'd like to ask a very simple question, or rather, pose a situation. Imagine, just imagine, forget whatever you're thinking right now, and just imagine there is a posh building out there, and the gates open. A BMW car rushes inside, and from the car, a good looking doctor, well dressed doctor with a stethoscope, gets out of the car. Recording in progress. Did you imagine? How many of you assume that the doctor is male? Nobody. You all thought the doctor was a woman? Seriously? So this clearly shows we all have intrinsic biases inside. And what are these biases? Let me tell you. But before that, let me also tell you that I am the moderator of today's meeting. The moderator is also called the Toastmaster of the day. Every Toastmasters meeting is divided into three sections. The first section is the prepared speeches section, where we have the members deliver their speeches, which is a part of their projects and pathways. And the second section is the table topic section, which is open for members as well as guests. The third section is the breakfast of champions, where the entire meeting, parts of the meeting, speeches from the meeting get evaluated by a dedicated panel of evaluators. All right. Coming back to the theme. What do you mean by unconscious biases? Can anybody tell me? Anybody from the audience, members, guests, can you just try defining unconscious bias for me?
Something that's
Yeah.
conditioned in the mind and comes in subconsciously, even without you realizing that it does,
Yes, yes.
that it
Something
exists.
that is an outcome of conditioning. Valid point. Anybody else?
There's something that is actually inculcated in us from childhood itself, especially the beliefs and the cultural beliefs that has formed the fabric of the society, and which is passed on to us from our elders without
Absolutely. Something that
realizing
is,
it. Yes.
yes, yes. Something that is instilled during the primitive years of our lives.
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely.
and the formative years. Thank you.
Anybody else? Toastmaster Mahesh, yeah, tell me.
So these are biases which we are consciously not aware that those are influencing our
Absolutely.
decisions.
Yes, 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 yes. I think you three have very perfectly defined the definition of unconscious bias for me. These are basically such biases, such statements, such elements and themes present inside us, which we are not aware of. And these are those which we don't control. These are outcomes of our past experiences, outcomes of our conditioning, outcomes of our beliefs and attitudes. They are not rational, and these are those that trigger our brain to make quick judgments about people, places, objects, etc. So, something that is very intrinsic and inherent, but something that you cannot control. Research says that you can control your unconscious bias if you make an effort towards it. But I'll be talking about that later. But now we'll be doing another activity, a very simple and small activity. For that, I want each one of you to take a notebook and a pen. If you don't have a notebook and a pen, take a mobile phone, a tablet, whatever you have afforded. Anything that you, but I want something you should have so that you can write. Yeah. Are you ready? Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now write down the names of people, 5 people. These 5 people, they are not your spouses. They are not your family members. Okay. That is the hard criteria that I'm placing it here. These are not your spouses. These are not your family members. Anybody else. It can be your colleagues, peers, teachers, mentors, mentees, friends, but not your family members. Write down the names of 5 people you trust the most in your life. 5 people. 5 people whom you trust the most. We won't take much time. We'll just take 10 more seconds and we'll finalize our 5 people, trustworthy people, 5 people from our network whom we trust the most. Toastmaster Cynthia is not able to trust anybody right now. No, I don't trust anybody. All right. Ready? 5 names are ready. All right. All right. I hope the 5 names are ready. Okay. Okay. Now, have the pen with you and start checking, putting a tick mark against the names when they satisfy the following criteria. Okay. So when I say that this person and you have traveled to London, so you put a tick mark. Okay. Put a tick mark when they satisfy the criteria. Okay. Criteria number 1. You and the other person belong to the same gender. Okay. You and the other person belong to the same generation. Take 1990 to 2000 as one generation, 2000, 2010 as one generation, 1980 to 1990s as one generation. You and the other person belong to the same generation. All right? Third criteria, you and the other person have the same academic qualification. All right. Fourth criteria, you and the other person have an income gap of not more than 5 lakhs per annum. You and the other person speak the same mother tongue. That is the fifth criteria. All right. Well, let me tell you, the outcome of this activity is that the more number of tick marks implies more heavier the affinity bias you have. You tend to trust more people. You tend to associate positive feelings with people who belong to the same affinity, to the same socio-economic demographic groups, which is wrong, which is absolutely wrong. So this says that when you become a leader and you need to get a job done, the team that you'll be forming, the people you'll trust the most are those people who belong to the same socio-economic demographic groups. Isn't that wrong? India is a diverse country with more than 141 crore people, and you want to associate positive feelings and you want to trust only those people who speak the same language, belong to the same state, belong to the same gender. Think about it, and I'll come back. Talking about today's meeting, we have a tag team who are going to help us by removing all those biases and showing a mirror of what the meeting is going to be like. For that, I'd like to invite the tag team and have their introduction. The timer of today's meeting is also Madam President, Toastmaster Cynthia. Over to you.
Yeah, so as the timer, I'm supposed to keep the timing for the meeting. So for the prepared speeches, we will have 5 to 7 minutes as the time. At 5 minutes, you will have the green light, which tells you that you're qualified. At 6 minutes, you will have a yellow light to say that it's almost time to wind up. And at 7 minutes, you will have the red light telling you to stop. But if you still don't agree, at 7.5 minutes, you're out of the voting. So that's as far as the prepared speeches are concerned. Those people who are evaluating the speeches will have 2 to 3 minutes, with 2 minutes as the green light. So you have to keep talking till 2 minutes. At 2.5 minutes, it'll tell you, like time to shut. And then at 3.5 minutes, you get disqualified from the voting. We will have table topics, and time for the table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. You will see the green light at 1 minute. You will see the yellow light at 1.5 minutes, and you will see a red light at 2 minutes. You will get a grace of 30 seconds more, and at 2.5 minutes, it will be post 2.5 minutes, you will be disqualified. So my screen will be spotlighted if it's fine, so that everybody can see the changes on my screen, and that will help you to be on track as far as time is concerned. That's from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cynthia. Now it's time to welcome the R counter of today's meeting, who is also the Vice President Education and a dear friend of mine. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai.
Thank you very much, Aditya. I will show no bias in recording how people butcher their deliveries or do it well. My job as the R counter will be to keep track of people who use filler words, crutch sounds, double starts, unnecessary pauses, articles in the wrong place, all those things which sort of derail the delivery of our content. Like I just did, I repeated myself our multiple times. So that's an example of a double stack. So I'll be keeping track of all that and giving my report at the end to the generally valued question. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sai. Now, finally, the grammarian of today's meeting is Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti. Over to you, Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti.
Hello, Toastmasters. New program here, new XCOM. Namaskar to BKC Fireflies. I'm your grammarian, the grammar Nazi for the day. I will be noting down all good and not so good usages of grammar, and I will also introduce you to the word and the phrase of the day. The word of the day today is verbose, which means a lot of words when a few can do. Usage could be Lord of the Rings is fantastic, but is verbose at places. Our phrase of the day is dime a dozen. This is a parallel phrase to saying to a penny, which is to say, you can use this phrase in two ways. You can use dime a dozen to say abundant, available in plenty. You can use dime a dozen to say it's so plenty that it is valueless. So it doesn't have value. For example, my skill set is dime a dozen, as in it's very common, nothing special. Or mangoes a dime a dozen in May. You can also say that something is abundant by saying dime a dozen, like I said about mango. I'm going to request all of you to use the word and the phrase of the day when you speak. And when anybody speaks, I'm going to request everybody to show a thumbs up emoji or a thumb up like this to encourage people to use the word and phrase of the day. I will come and present my grammarian report when the G calls me. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti. When Toastmaster Cyril was at Matrix Toastmasters Club to deliver an education session, he said something that struck my mind. He said, whenever you have to get your speech evaluated, whenever you want real constructive feedback, go ask a bakra, somebody who will cut your speech into pieces and tell you what is milk and what is water. Whenever we ask for feedback, we always have affinity bias in us. We always go to our fellow Toastmasters, our friends, our colleagues, and make sure we get minimum criticism. But imagine how diverse your feedback can be, how quality rich your feedback can be if you can involve people from different diverse background. On that note, let me tell you that the next segment is the prepared speeches segment, and we have a line of rocking speakers at today's meeting. The first speaker is Toastmaster Sandhya Krishnan. But before that, before calling the speaker, I would like to invite her dedicated evaluator, which is Toastmaster Pradanya Sawant. Okay, I'm sorry. It is Toastmaster Kalpana. Toastmaster Kalpana will be evaluator number 1 for Toastmaster Sandhya. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of today, Aditya. Well, it's a bit of a surprise and a happiness when I just realized that Sandhya is going to be the person whose speech I'm going to evaluate. Sandhya today, who I know her personally, is attempting her L1 and P1. For me, that was a surprise. But yes, here she is in front of us, stepping ahead with the journey of prepared speeches. Kindly note, timer, the time of the speech is going to be between 4 to 6 minutes. And I am wishing my speaker, Sandhya Krishnan, all the best. I hand over the stage back to Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. Toastmaster Sandhya, ticking the boxes. Ticking the boxes, Toastmaster Sandhya.
I don't see the timer cards. I'll wait for the timer cards to be.
Just give me 1 minute to change the time. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Do shall I start?
Yes. Toastmaster Sandhya, are you able to see the timer transition? All right. Toastmaster Sandhya, ticking the boxes, Toastmaster Sandhya.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I finished my PhD in 2017 and started a job, I was pretty sure that in the next 10 years, I would have everything figured out. I would have the major goals, life goals, the major boxes ticked. The goal of having a settled job, the goal of having a family, the goal of having a dime a dozen social circle. It is 2024 now, almost 10 years since I set those goals in 2017. And where I stand now, have I ticked those boxes? Well, I do have a job, but a settled one? Far from it. I do have a family, a husband and a son. But even after 4 years of being a mother, I feel that I'm still struggling in that role. Social circle. Well, I will tell more about that once I give you a little bit of more background about myself. I was born and raised in the city of dreams in Mumbai. As a child, I was quiet, but I was independent and responsible. I was academically oriented, but I had very few friends. I was one of those students in class who used to be bullied by being called scholar all the time. So I didn't have any best friends, I didn't have a close knit circle or anything like that. And I always felt that I should be more social. I should be a more fun person so that I can have a larger friend circle. And I felt that I could work on that once I reached college because school was anyway almost over. But once I came to college, to my frustration and my surprise, I still continued to be that scholar in class. Over time, I gained a few friends, but I was far from being social. Coming to my job. After I finished my PhD, I found a job as a research fellow at the University of Mumbai, but at a contractual position. So I kept switching jobs for the better. And finally, in 2022, I was hired as a faculty in a permanent position at NMIMS, one of the top B schools in Mumbai. And I finally thought I have a settled job. But had other plans. In 2023, for a number of reasons, we decided to move to Bangalore from Mumbai. And I was back to square one. I had to start my job hunt again. Today, I am working at the Azim Premji University in Bangalore as a research fellow, but again on a contractual position. My social circle, what happened to my friends? Well, I have a small group of friends who are far from being a large social circle that I had imagined in 2017 to have. But these 10 years have also taught me that I'm not a person who is very social. It does not make me happy to meet people all the time socially and to meet too many people at the same time. So if few friends make me happy, why not? Let me just not be social, but be happy. So if it comes to that box of ticking of happiness with friendships, do I tick that box? Yes, a big yes. Coming to my job. These 10 years have also made me realize that it's actually not important to have a settled job. What does it mean to have a settled job? Does it mean that you will be doing the same monotonous thing every day, not looking forward to grow in your work? Well, if that is what a settled job means, then I don't want that. My current job makes me look forward to what I will be doing the next day. It lets me meet interesting people. It challenges me every day. So even if it's a contractual position, I am happy with that. So when it comes to job satisfaction, I tick the box there. Let's come to family. A year after I finished my PhD, I got married. After that, in a couple of years, we had a son. My son is 4 years old now. But am I a happy, settled mother? Well, when I gave birth to my son, I struggled to learn how to breastfeed him. Then I struggled to learn how to start him on solid foods. Then I struggled while I was at work and he was at a daycare facility. And all I could do was watch him what he was doing on a camera. And now, as the 4-year-old still struggles to express himself emotionally, I sometimes lose my patience. I don't understand what he wants to say. But boy, I still love being a mother every day of my life. So when it comes to being happy with the family that you have, I tick that box too. Toastmaster of the day, what are your life's boxes? Are they meaningful? Think about them and how many of them have you ticked? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya, for leaving us and leaving me on a very thought-provoking and an optimistic note. Thank you very much. Now let's move ahead with the further line of speakers. The next speaker is Toastmaster Pradanya Sawant. To evaluate her speech, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Saurabh Patil, the evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Saurabh.
Thank you, Toastmaster today. So today's speaker is Pradnya Sawant, and she is delivering her icebreaker speech from her pathway persuasive leadership. So the purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basics of the structure of public speaking. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saurabh. Toastmaster Pradanya, are you able to see the timer card?
It's 5 to 7 minutes, right? Or 4 to 6 minutes. What is the speech
Just
time?
just a sec. Yeah.
It is ice breaking
Yeah,
session.
4 to 6 minutes. It's 4 to 6 minutes. The speech timing is 4 to 6 minutes.
Let's wait for the timer, Toastmaster Pradanya.
Sure.
Set.
Master Pradanya, are you able to see the timer cards?
Yes,
The
I'm able to see.
transition?
Yes.
All right.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible as well. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Pradanya, girl on wheels. A girl on wheels. Toastmaster Pradanya.
So, good evening, everyone. So, this is my first speech, and I'm excited as well as nervous to tell about myself. So, as Shakespeare's rightly said, what's there in the name? So, if that time I would have been there, I would have said identity. So, as my name said, my name is Pradnya Sawant. The meaning of my name is intelligence. So, it also says that some of the names have meaning in your exhibited in your personality as well. So I would like to ask all the Toastmasters over here, the name of which the meaning of your name has been inhibited in you or not. So can you give any example of like Sai or Sandhya or Saurabh, that what is the meaning of your name and the quality of your name has been inhibited or exhibited in your personality or not? Any one of you?
This is Sai. I don't know the meaning of my name. It's the name of a god man. I don't think I have the qualities of Sai at all. So we'll have to leave it at that.
Okay. Yes, Saurabh, anyone?
I'm not sure what the meaning of Saurabh is, but I have a nickname or maybe a pet birth name, that is Summer, which is war. The meaning of the name Summer is war. So I'm a bit short tempered, so I think that is where it resonates with me. That's it. Or it's okay.
So Sandhya has also mentioned that her meaning of her name is evening, and that is the part of the day I like the most. So yes, so this is what, like my meaning. The name of my meaning is intelligence. So sometimes I would exhibit intelligence. Like sometimes I speak intelligently, and sometimes it is not. So it might be, it might be, like up and down. That is what I feel. The second about me, I would say that what I do, this about my social status. So I would say that I'm a HR professional for more than a decade, and I'm working with Vedanta company as HR professional. I'm leading the HR department, and also about my hobbies, I would say I was a national table tennis player, and I because of my this table tennis game, I was I was roaming around and traveling around the world and also in India, and I really enjoyed the different types of culture, people, and also I've also like experienced different set of climate also. So the most of the part which I liked about the traveling is that I could have seen n number of people, and I could have met n number of people. I understood their culture, their language, and I would say that I know five languages after like going around the around India. I know the three languages, that is Marathi, Hindi, English, as well as Gujarati and Oriya language as well. Due to which I feel that I would have experienced the enriching culture of India. The message which I would like to mention over here is that to all the Toastmaster is that you are stronger than you think, you are braver than you believe, and you're more beautiful than you ever imagine. So let's nothing hold back. So this is what all about my ice breaking session. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Up to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pradanya. It was nice knowing you and your story as well. All right, now it's time for me to introduce the third speaker, who is none other than Toastmaster Srinidhi. But before that, let's invite the dedicated evaluator, Toastmaster Sanish, to brief the project objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Sanish.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The speaker will be attempting level 4, project 2. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of her team. The purpose of the second speech is for the member to share some aspect of her experience managing a project. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanish. Toastmaster Srinidhi, are you able to see the timer cards, the screen, the transition? All right. I'd like to go for an audio video check as well. Would you like to say something?
Sure. Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Thank you. Toastmaster Srinidhi, Impact Day. Impact Day, Toastmaster Srinidhi.
Imagine you're standing at the threshold of a day that promises to make an impact, which affects both your life and the lives of the people you seek to inspire. This is my experience being a project lead for Impact Day. For people who don't know, Impact Day is the CSR program that Deloitte runs. Today, I want to share how I navigated through the challenges of managing that project and turning our vision into a day that was filled with learning, joy, and connections that touched over 400 students and teachers. The first part was crafting the vision. From the moment I partnered with my two dedicated co-leads, I felt a pinch of excitement, but also a sense of responsibility. In project management, we need to have a very clear vision of what is critical, how do we proceed, and which will help us to align the team's efforts. We aimed to cater to different age groups with engaging sessions across their age gap. We had environmental action as a session for the curious minds of grade 1 and grade 2. We had creative thinking for the imaginative souls of grade 3 and 4. We had observational skills for the inquisitive mind of grade 5th to 8th. We had forming your views for the thoughtful older students of grade 9 and 10. And finally, MS Office skills for the dedicated teachers. Second step was meticulous planning. Planning this event felt like a festival. Each detail mattered. We started with defining the roles and responsibility, ensuring that each volunteer understood what their task was. For our team of 50 plus volunteers from Deloitte, we made sure that we had a clear structure. We decided to assign 2 volunteers to a bunch of 15 group of children, which will help them to give enough attention to their needs. Communication was key. We created WhatsApp groups for real-time coordination and those last-minute tweaks. We discussed and had different briefing sessions, made sure that all the logistical details were locked in, and addressed the potential challenges that could unfold. Our planning also included coordinating with the point of contact with the school that we were volunteering at. It helped us to align our schedules and what their requirements were from this CSR activity. Third was effective budget. Maintaining and managing a budget is crucial in any project. The budget of 63,000 was entrusted to us. This was the tool which could help us to create memorable moments for the students and the teachers. We held discussions as to how we allocate the funds. We had focusing discussions, and we then eventually decided that we will give students color boxes, geometry sets, and diaries for the teachers. I recall our discussion late at night about choosing these items and envisioning the smile that the teachers and the students would have on their face when they get these goodies. Every rupee spent was towards making that day special for them. But we made sure to keep a strict budget of the expenditure, which helped us to ensure that there was transparency and accountability. Managing the budget prudently helped us to maximize the impact without overspending. Fourth was execution and adaptability. On the day of the event, we executed our plan with a blend of structure and flexibility. The school gave us a warm welcome. Despite its modest resources, it filled us with a sense of purpose. Volunteers arrived early, made sure that they had their laptops handy, and they were ready to go with the session. We knew that the school did not have adequate resources, so we made sure that we bring in our own equipment to make sure that their experience was top-notch. We began the session around 11 a.m. It went on till 1 p.m. We resumed after lunch by 2 p.m. and the session again went on till 5 p.m. During the creative thinking session, I remember watching the students unleash their creative minds and the boundless potential that the kids had. During the observational skill session, it turned into a lively discussion, and I could see how each one had the potential within them. I could see the older students who were engaging in forming your opinion. They were so articulate in expressing their thoughts. It was nothing short of inspiring. For teachers, the MS Office sessions that we took, it was quite the bridge, which helped them to make their techniques more effective. Their gratitude was heartwarming, and it reaffirmed the impact of our efforts. The fifth one was overcoming challenges with team spirit. No project is without its hurdles. We faced issues with, firstly, time management, and of course, the crowd management. Our solution was to make sure that we have an open line of communication, and we are open to making tweaks and decisions. We were distributing refresh volunteers who would dedicatedly just do this, and that is what helped us to make sure that the momentum of the session kept going on. The volunteers' enthusiasm and willingness was instrumental to helping us to make this go on sail smoothly. We scheduled enough breaks, made sure that the kids were not exhausted. It didn't feel like a school day. They were refreshed when they had the goodies and the food. This attention to detail made sure that they were more interested in the session. When I sit back and reflect on Impact Day, it wasn't just an event. It was a masterclass in project management and emotions handling. It went right from making sure that we set clear goals, we had plans, we had budgeting done, and making sure that the last minute tweaks happened. Every aspect made sure that the project was a success. I was especially grateful for my co-leads and the other volunteers who brought their unique strength to the table, made sure that we presented ourselves as one team, which is here for the greater, higher purpose. Managing a project was more about not just about making sure about the tasks and the timelines, but it was about touching the lives, making the impact which we were there for. On that day, at that school, surrounded by laughter and learning, I believe that is what we did. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Srinidhi, for taking us through the project, the impact, and what you learned from it. Thank you very much. Now it's time for us to get back to the theme, and that is about unconscious biases. So let's go play another activity. For that, I'd like to share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
It is. Okay. I want somebody to read this out for me out loud and fast. Let me pick Toastmaster side. Fast, out loud and fast.
Black, red, I can't see the next word. Orange, blue, pink, white, gray, I can't see the next one. Green, pink, magenta, white, blue, maroon, I can't see the next one. Pink, orange, green, blue.
Okay. Oh, that's impressive. Anybody else who would like to try? Toastmaster Kashif.
Black, red, green, orange, blue, pink, white, gray, brown, green, pink, magenta, white, blue, maroon, red, pink, orange, green, blue.
A tad bit slower, I must say, because I should have something to speak about. Toastmaster Kashif. Anybody else who would like to try? Last try. Yes, Toastmaster Kalpana. Go ahead.
I'm unable to, see the yellow ones, but I'll read the rest. Somehow or the other, I'm unable to read them.
And
but
read
rest
fast.
I
Read
will.
it fast.
Okay. Black, red, orange, blue, pink, white, gray, green, pink, magenta, white, blue, maroon, pink, orange, green, blue.
Okay. Now imagine that all these words were in the same color and how easy it would have been for you. Yes, because there is some kind of a conflict happening inside, and you will have to process the conflict and then utter the name of the color. Well, this is the conflict. It is the conflict between the left and the right brain that happens inside. Left brain is known to be more logical and more rational, while the right brain is known to be more creative and intuitive. A lot of neuroscientists, yes, they say that the brain is more complex than the left and right hemisphere, but this is how basically our central nervous system to the brain has been conditioned and modulated. There is one part that plans things for you, and there is another part that executes things for you. What really happens is that for many of us, either one of the hemispheres is dominating over the other. It is more dominant, it takes control. So some of us are more intuitive sometimes, and some of us are mostly rational. We don't use emotions while making decisions. You can eliminate the biases in you that play with your creativity, that play with your intuitions, or you can eliminate those biases that form the framework for your logic, the rationality, by balancing both these parts of the brain. I'd like to believe that even table topics are similar. When you deliver a table topic, you'll have to balance both the right and the left parts of the brain. You'll have to be creative. At the same time, you'll have to organize your thoughts logically. On that note, let me kickstart the table topic. Let me open the table topic session for you. And to host the table topic session, we have another enthusiastic, zealous Toastmaster who is none other than Toastmaster Kashif. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. My name is Kashif and I am the table topics master for today. Now, table topics is one of the most fun rounds in any Toastmasters meeting. And for most Toastmasters, it is their favorite session of the 3 sessions in the meeting. And why is that? Because table topics puts us on the spot and it forces us to think creatively. It forces us to think on our feet, so to speak. But of course, it is not easy. Speaking in front of an audience itself can be scary even when you are prepared. So when you are not prepared and you have to speak impromptu, that is a different ball game altogether. And that is the purpose of the table topics round. In a sense, it also prepares us for real life situations because we will not always have the opportunity or the time to be prepared. And these kind of situations, they can arise in our work, during a job interview, or many other situations. So let's get prepared for the table topics session. The rules are simple. I am going to give you a topic and you have to speak on it. You can take a few seconds if you want to prepare, but then you have to speak between 1 to 2 minutes. Less than 1 minute, you will be disqualified. So you have to speak for at least 1 minute to be qualified. And on the upper side, you can go up till 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So those are the rules. And I wish all the participants all the best for the table topics. Remember that you have to speak. So even if you don't, you cannot come up with something creative about the topic itself, maybe pick a word and speak about that word. And as you go along, I'm sure you will get more ideas. So with that, we'll start. Do we have any volunteers? Okay, so let me pick Toastmaster Mahesh. Would you like to go? Okay, so Toastmaster Mahesh, your topic is unconscious bias. What is your unconscious bias towards aliens? Unconscious bias towards aliens. Toastmaster Mahesh. Toastmaster Mahesh. Unconscious bias towards aliens.
What a wonderful topic. One thing I have realized from our Toastmaster of the day is that if I was aware of my unconscious bias, then it will definitely not be unconscious anymore. So you have asked me a very difficult question. What would be my unconscious bias towards the aliens? But I'll tell you what are my conscious bias towards aliens. My conscious bias towards aliens is that I expect them to be these green, jelly-like, big-eyed creatures. I consciously expect them to be confused. I consciously expect them to be cute like E.T. And I hope, and I really hope, these conscious biases come true because I really want that experience to be as cinematic as Hollywood depicts it to be. Now, talking about subconscious biases, I really don't know how will I create a subconscious bias about aliens with whom I don't have any experience except what I have seen made by Hollywood or even made by our very own Bollywood. But I definitely hope that alien is not called a blue-eyed monster called Jadoo. Over to you, table topic master.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh, for that interesting take on your biases towards aliens. Do we have a volunteer for the next table topic speaker? Okay, TMOD, Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya. Your topic is, what is your unconscious bias towards people who wear sunglasses indoors? People who wear sunglasses indoors. Toastmaster Aditya, sunglasses indoors.
First of all, the first thought that pops up in my head is that how stupid this person is for wearing sunglasses inside the house where there is no sunlight. I believe that common sense is available out there, dime a dozen, but none of us use it properly. And you know why? People wear sunglasses not to protect themselves from the sunlight, but to protect themselves from a very old complex called validation from the society. They want everybody to think they are stylish, think they are fashionistas, and therefore they commit the stupidity. But let me tell you that this is an unconscious bias because I think that people always dress up for others. But no, people sometimes also dress up for themselves. People also sometimes do stupid things that might be perceived stupid out in the public, probably to please themselves. So, why to care about what people think about you when you can take care of yourself, when you can love yourself? So, go ahead, wear whatever you want. I'm not judging you, but I think you're a stupid person. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was a spontaneous take, and you started with saying that you think the person is stupid. That was very bold of you. Do we have a next speaker? Dr. Naz. Okay, Dr. Naz, your topic is that do you have an unconscious bias towards an animal or animals? Dr. Naz, unconscious bias towards animals, unconscious bias towards animals, Dr. Naz.
Thank you. There was a time when I used to pride myself on my verbosity, but today the words are no longer come to me as easy as a dime a dozen. So it may take me a time to get around the fact that yes, I do have biases against animals. It's not that I don't like them, I love them, but they've got to be in the jungles or out, not in my house, and not definitely on my bed. Being a person who likes to be clean, or rather to be a cleanliness freak at times, and according even to my children, I have realized that let me not have animals. But lately, I met a stray dog, or rather, the stray dog came, and he was so charming to me, and he nudged me, and it as though he was telling me that he belonged to me. And I realized that my bias was totally uncalled for. It was something that I had in my head, and I needed to get rid of it, which I did. Today, the stray dog is a happy member of my family, stays with us, and very proudly we have named it Small Little Bunny. So, thank you all for listening to me. And that's my take on biases against animals.
Thank you for sharing that story, that cute story about your experience with the dog. My experience is also similar. I think I started liking animals once they came into my house, not of my own accord, but because my wife brought our first pet, a cat. Okay. So do we have a volunteer for the next speaker?
We have time for one more.
Okay, so we will take the last one, grab the opportunity. Toastmasters.
Prasad wants to do it. He is a guest, I think. Prasad, are you there?
Prasad, can you turn on your camera? Okay,
I'll do it if you want. Kashif, Sai here.
Okay, Sai. Uh, okay, let me give you another humorous one. Interesting. So, what is your unconscious bias towards people who wear socks and sandals? Unconscious bias towards people who wear socks with sandals. Sai. Unconscious bias for socks and sandals.
I think people who wear socks and sandals, I think they are fashion unconscious. They have no idea about what looks good on them, what doesn't look good on them. One of the things that does not look good on anybody, bar none, is socks with sandals. It doesn't make any sense to have that combination on. If you really want to protect your feet, wear shoes. If you don't care about your feet, wear slippers or flip-flops. But this combination of wearing a cloth cover for a part of your body which is exposed to the surface and could get injured, it doesn't make any fashion sense, and B, it also tells me that you don't know anything about human anatomy and human physiology. Because if you were to scrape yourself on the ground, or if you were to stub your toe or something, a sock is not going to protect you or save you. The only reason why sometimes people wear socks is because they have dirty feet, or they have hair on their feet that they don't want the world to see. In both cases, it just tells me that you're thinking too much, maybe I'm slurring over my words. It is possible that you're wearing socks to hide the fact that you have hobbit feet, which has hair and your feet look ugly. And if that's the case, I need to tell you that these things, they do matter to an extent. Nobody wants to see dirty, hairy feet, but they don't matter as much as you think. And you look sillier with socks on than with your hairy feet showing. So I would go ahead and ask people to wear sandals with socks to stop doing it, because it does not look good. You just look silly. And in fact, anybody who wears ankle length socks on shoes which don't have ankles, or anything higher than that, and with your shorts on, with the top of your socks showing, that looks silly as well. So you need to take a couple of tips from YouTube on how to wear, what socks to wear with what clothing, and that's going to help you. White socks are another set of socks that I hate, which I think people should not be wearing anymore. Those white socks were good for high school and elementary school and middle school. Anything after high school, if you're still wearing white socks, it means you haven't realized that the world has moved on, and you're free to wear socks of any color you want. You don't need to wear white socks anymore. So 3 things about socks that I really detest: 1, sandals with socks; 2, shorts with the tops of your socks showing; and 3, white socks. So 3 things I don't like about socks. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Sai, for boldly accepting your unconscious bias towards people who wear socks and sandals. Although I must say that I'm with you on that one. With that, we come to an end of the table topic session. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Aditya.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kashif. Well, we don't have much time left. It is time for us to move ahead for the Breakfast of Champions. But before that, let me tell you, you can identify what your unconscious biases are by clicking the link that I'm going to share you. Go take this test, analyze the results, and identify what the unconscious biases are that are playing in your head, that is affecting, influencing your day-to-day decision making. All right. Moving ahead with the Breakfast of Champions, I'd like to invite the general evaluator of today's meeting, who is none other than Toastmaster Pratibha Kamath. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, friends, and welcome to our third segment of the meeting, that is general evaluation. As you all know, that evaluation is not unconscious bias, but a champion's breakfast. Yes, and that is what we require in Toastmasters for our growth improvement through the constructive evaluation. This segment is divided in 3 parts. The first part is the individual speech evaluations. The second part is meeting role players reports, and the third part will be my evaluation of the meeting in general. So let's start with our evaluators. The first speaker, Toastmaster Sandhya, will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kalpana. Over to you, Kalpana.
Thank you, General Evaluator Pratibha. Can I just see the timer cards, please? Thank you. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Well, well, well. They say ices are a dime a dozen, but not icebreaker speech. And what an iceberg speech, according to me. An iceberg breaks a Titanic. But today, Sandhya's icebreaker speech actually forced us to break the barriers, look into our own boxes of happiness, satisfaction, and made us realize that there are incidents in life that make us reflect and tick not anything else but our own happiness and our own satisfactions. Small details and insignificant happenings are what that shapes our life was showcased very well today by Sandhya. It showcased us that the lessons of the life are more important than the book learnings that we normally go through, getting a PhD and getting degrees, But there it is, life throws a googly. I think you connected, you had everyone's attention, and you had all the incidents with which I'm sure that that's not the person present here who would not have connected. And that actually made me very happy because you started at a point that was present and then you rewinded towards your childhood. I journeyed with you to my childhood, thinking, what is it? Where am I right now? And what was it that I wanted to be when I was a child? Your eye contact was good. You had your hand gestures. But where your body language is concerned, I wish you were a little bit more livelier, a little bit smile. Grapes are sour, so says the fox. Yes, life is sour, but bring on the sweetness because sourness teaches us how to make a lemonade, correct? Or if it is grapes, let's make some wine. So, to summarize, I wish that you had made this narration a tongue-in-cheek narration. How you're dealing with a sadistic life challenges. All right. If that had been your core, along with a quote that showcased your own strength as you faced the diversity of challenges that life threw at you, I would have taken away a learning, and so would all who are here, because you have managed your challenges of life very well. So believe me, be more verbose about your life with a lot of quotes. And no matter, just a second, no matter how many googlies life throws at you, adaptability to change was your core strength showcased here. Next time, add that as a quote in your icebreakers. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana. As you all have seen, our evaluation is comment, recommend, and comment. It's type of sandwich. Yes, it's healthy and it is we can implement this recommendations and commendation. So let's see what our second evaluator says.
Hello. Should I start?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, speaker to Pragya. Well, what's in the name mentioned by Shakespeare? I like the way you started with your speech by quoting Shakespeare. and the way you transcended into, explaining what your name means. That was a good start. Also, you engaged a lot of audience. You asked the question, you let the audience answer. So that was a good engagement with the audience, which is one of the good traits of a speaker. And an audience interaction is something that you did very well. I like the way you explain what you do, what you are, your hobbies, and what your life has been. Of course, there are one or two recommendations that I would like to let you know based on what could have improved your speech. Number one, there could have been a possibility of a little more voice modulation where you could have used your voice to either raise it or lower it based on what you were actually implying or what you were actually trying to tell us. Number two, a bit more of hand gestures would have been useful. If we could see your hands while you were talking and see some gestures based on what you were explaining, that would have been better. Third thing, the most important thing, the speech could have been a bit more of a verbose because I think it was a bit short. You could have added more nuances of your own personal life, what shaped, your life based on the meaning of your name, how your name came into existence, who put it, who chose the name. So that would have been more helpful. Now, overall, the speech was good. The content was great. And I love the way you ended your speech with a very strong message for all the Toastmasters. Be brave, be innovative. I love that. So I think the overall speech was really great. And you can consider the 2-3 recommendations for your next speech. That's it from me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh, for that detailed evaluation. And now I will be inviting our third evaluator, Toastmaster Sanish. Toastmaster Sanish.
Thank you, General Evaluator. What I liked about Toastmaster Srinidhi's speech is the way she shared her learnings from the CSR activity at her organization, which was spearheaded by Toastmaster Srinidhi. What I liked about the speech was the structure and flow. She went into the flow in a very detailed manner. She had 5 pillars: crafting the vision, medical planning, budget, execution and adaptability, and overcoming challenge. A very structured way of looking at a project and bringing it today evening for learning for all of us. The second thing which I liked about the speech was the word visibly. She had sprinkled good usage of words throughout the speech. Now, I'm not getting into the usage of the words because I'm sure the grammarian is going to highlight which were the good words used throughout the speech. Again, what I liked was the usage of today's platform through the speech, how we can impact the life of other people. Maybe take out some time. And that is the what's in it for me. When we hear the speech, how we can take out time for a personal and professional life and impact the life of other people. And Toastmaster Srinidhi was very nicely able to bring out the warm smiles which was on the children's as well as on the teacher's face after these volunteers took out time and effort to make an impact on other people's life. How can I do that? That was the question I was left with after hearing to this particular speech. Now let me share some recommendation which I felt could take the speech to a higher level. The first thing is the pace of the speech. The moment Toastmaster of the day handed over you, you went ahead with 5th gear. I felt you could have paused. Let that transition happen from the Toastmaster of the day to the speaker. And then you could have said the words. Imagine you are standing at the threshold. It could have given an audience a pause to know that the transition between the speaker has happened. Again, throughout the speech, I felt the absorption by me and the audience in general would have been much better and higher if the pace of the speech would have been a bit lower. Second, what I like to say is the valleys and the highs. Generally, we see in the movie, the villain is much more dramatic, the much impactful is the movie. In the project, I felt most of the highs, the valleys were highlighted. Most of the things seem to have happened well. And in terms of that drop, only one, that is the time management and crowd management. I'm sure with more than 50 volunteers, there are a lot of emotions, different opinions, different ways of things could have been done. Small bit of that strife and struggles. How did you manage that? If you could have brought that, or maybe if not, small thing which could have been highlighted for audience attention, it would have added much more thing. And finally, summarizing these 5 pillars, if it could have been summarized and re-emphasized, it would have added more value. Overall, an amazing speech, great flow, great usage of words, and do be wary of pace and summarize. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Sanish. And now I would like to invite our timer Cynthia to give the timing record for the evaluators, please.
Okay, so without being too verbose, here goes the timelines of the speakers, the prepared speeches. Toastmaster Sandhya took 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Toastmaster Pradnya took 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Toastmaster Srinidhi took 7 minutes. So other than Toastmaster Pradnya, the other 2 Toastmasters qualify. Toastmaster Pradnya, for your information, you had to do a minimum of 4 minutes. As far as the table topics are concerned, Toastmaster Mahesh took 1 minute and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya took 1 minute and 35 seconds. Dr. Nas took 1 minute and 28 seconds. And Toastmaster Sai took 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So all 4 of them qualify. The evaluators, Toastmaster Kalpana took 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Toastmaster Saurabh took 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Toastmaster Sunish took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So all 3 qualify. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Cynthia. Now I would like to invite our R counter, Toastmaster Sai. Toastmaster Sai, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. My job as the R counter was to keep track of people who use filler words and sounds throughout the course of the meeting. I'm happy to report that today was a decent meeting by most standards. Our Toastmaster of the day, Aditya, used just once, and everything else about his delivery was flawless. Cynthia had one blip. She used more than 5 times. Sangeeta Shruti was flawless. I myself made a lot of mistakes during my table topics, but I didn't keep track of it, so I'm just going to assume I did very badly. Sandhya was flawless, though she used finally more than once as a crutch. Saurabh did not make any mistakes. Pradnya used said more than 5 times, and her crutch phrase is which she said more than 5 times. And I would say, in order to explain herself, she uses I would say as a crutch. I would say that, I would say this, I would say that. So that might be something that she wants to look at. Srinidhi paused unnecessarily twice, and her crutch phrase is made sure. Sanish was flawless. Kashif, and roughly 5 times each. His crutch word is so. He had no repeats or any other phrases that he uses as a crutch. Dr. Naz has one and one Her crutch connective tissue is and. She strings together long sentences with and it keeps going on and on. So that might be something she works on. Pratibha and Kalpana were both flawless. That's my report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I think Pratibha is having some network issues, so I just want to go ahead.
Yeah, I invite Sangeeta now for her report.
She invited me for the report, right? Yes. Okay. So namaskar, BKC Fireflies. The grammarian report for today. The word was verbose. Most of us Toastmasters are, but we didn't use it. Only two people used the word today. It was Dr. Naz and Toastmaster Cynthia. The phrase of the day, which is dime a dozen, was used by Toastmaster Sandhya, our TMOD Toastmaster Aditya, and Dr. Naz again. I have some good and bad usages and also an observation of language. As is the norm with BKC Fireflies meeting, I don't have too many not so good usages. I have a lot of good usages. So I have usages like engaging, zealous, cinematic, imaginative soul, said somebody, meticulous, anatomy, ticked boxes, pace, and process the conflict, hobbit feet, core strength. Some of the not so good usages today were alien is not called. I would have said any alien isn't or an alien isn't called. So quantify alien would have been good. Some words that we do not hear these days in public because of a lot of censure or sensitivity we heard here, like stupid, ugly, and silly. Another good use, another usage that we would like to take care of is to say, I have shared you. It would be a better usage to share with you, which is grammatically correct. One observation I have is Toastmaster Sandhya delivered an icebreaker speech between 4 and 6 minutes in extremely simple language, nothing pompous, nothing too over the top, yet connected. So I would like to commend to everybody the effective use of language can be simple too. And with that, I take it back to our general evaluator, Madam Toastmaster Pratibha.
Thank you, Sangeeta. That was a very detailed report of grammar uses. Now, let's go for our third part of this meeting, that is my comments as a general evaluator in general. The meeting started on time. I joined late because of my network issue. So apologies for that. And when I joined, I was listening a very interesting topic of the day, that was unconscious bias. And the audience were totally engaged with the questions, the quiz, and not only that, so many informative things about this thing. Toastmaster of the day kept the audience engaged. He introduced the role players, and role players also, our all role players. I think Cynthia, are you doing the role first time? Cynthia?
No,
First time?
this is
No.
no, this is the role that I have always been doing.
Oh, okay, great. Because timer is a very difficult role, to be frank, because sometimes we are listening to the speech and we have to note the timing, also very difficult because it is a multitasking. What I would like to what I would like to suggest to you is, for the time guidelines, please give the guidelines as per the segment, because all the timer is the only role player who will be coming in each segment. For that segment, you have to show the transition of the card and the timing guidelines. So thank you very much for noting all the time guidelines, and you have given the prepared speakers timings also during the evaluator time. That is a very nice way, because the main thing is we should know the time, whether the speakers are qualified or not. That all you have covered up very nicely. Coming back to our speakers, so our prepared speakers were very interesting speeches, even though it was an icebreaker, but I'm telling you, they were selling the ice to Eskimos. It was so nice. And luckily I remember that I had attended Sandhya's first icebreaker some 7 years back, when we had chartered a new club. And I think Sai was a timer on that day. Today he has taken our counter, and I just remembered. And the interesting thing is about Toastmaster is 7 years back, maybe 5 to 6 years back, that icebreaker and today's icebreaker, there was a lot of difference, and that is what is Toastmaster is all about. it's even though the path changes, the life changes, our the ideas, everything, the icebreaker may be a starting project in Toastmasters, but it is the thing where you can show the real structure of the speech and you can make it interesting in a way you want. And really, thank you, Pradnya and Sandhya, for making the icebreaker segment interesting. My suggestion for Pradnya will be use more of a transition words, because when a speech, I felt in between there were no transitional words during the in the body of the icebreaker. So use more of a transitional phrases in your thing, and in the closing also use some quotes or something. Come back, connect your introduction to the concluding part of your speech. So, and our third speaker, yes, very interesting speech because it was an advanced level. And in advanced level, as you all know, that it is not only the speech structure, but it is the emotional analysis, the message, the things we learned, everything together. And what I liked about the speech is it was based on the real project she has done. And the project was something which audience also could understand, could relate to it, and that is how it was made very much interesting. Now let's move to our next role player, that is table topic master. Yes, Kashif. Table topic master had all type of emotional bias, and it made the meeting even more interesting because when we were listening to the emotional biases from the Toastmaster of the day, we were waiting for the opportunity when we will tell about our emotional biases, and that was nicely presented and given the opportunity by our table topic master. The table topic master, Kashif, he is also associated with BKC Fireflies right from the beginning. So thank you very much. I have seen you after many days. And when I saw all our old team together with Saurabh and all, I was really very happy. So the table topics were handled very nicely. Yes, it was too much of the theme also, but you should have got some other variety also in that. So thank you very much. Coming back to our meeting in general was very interesting, and we have seen that each and every segment had something to learn, something to take home, and the message. So with this, I would like to hand over back to Aditya, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pratibha, for that very fair, bias-free feedback. Also, I'd like to thank the role players for the same. Now, imagine just like this meeting, every single person in this universe is evaluated or chosen through their competence, character, and abilities purely, and no biases in the world influence us. Isn't that a very ideal scenario to have? We all can achieve it together if you can identify the biases and work on them. Every time you take an action, every time you take a decision, smaller or bigger, make sure you question whether you have been influenced by a bias or not, and then eliminate the biases. On that note, I'd like to pass on the charge to the presiding officer back again. Over to you, Madam President, Toastmaster Cynthia.
What a session. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Dime a dozen learnings out of the session. Kudos to each one of you. You stuck to the time. You know, being a habitual timer, I keep a track of that. But you stuck to the time and with precision. What could I have asked for more for the debut session, for the debut meeting, other than having the person who started, uh, who got the BKC Fireflies kick-started, the person who trained or laid the foundation along with the founding members was very much within us, was among us, and could make a great comparison between where we started and where we currently are. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Pratibha, and we're really, really very grateful to you for taking the time out to come here. It was a nostalgic moment for a lot of people here. Of course, we haven't interacted, but yes, for the new members who are over here and was wondering how she's talking about, Toastmaster Sandhya's first speech and again the first speech. So this is why it is in the year 2019 to 2020, when BKC Fireflies just was conceptualized. Toastmaster Pratibha was the one who took the reins of making sure that BKC Fireflies takes off on a very high note. And here we stand because of the strong foundation that is laid by Toastmaster Pratibha. So, moving out of your general evaluator seat, I'd like to ask you to say a few words.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Pratibha, over to you. A few words, Toastmaster
Cynthia.
Pratibha.
Yes, Cynthia, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. BKC Fireflies was the first club which I mentored in my Toastmasters journey. So I will always remember BKC Fireflies. And afterwards, I had joined as the area director in the year 2020. And BKC Fireflies, we used to meet offline, and timing was some 6:30. And as usual, Sai was full of enthusiasm. Sandhya was always there. And we always had lot of recommendations, and Sai always used to say so many things. You remember, Sai? Our first, what you can call it. So the BKC Fireflies was always enthusiastic, always informative. Especially, I liked always Sandhya in a role of Toastmaster of the day, and she's still there. Till this day, she is my favorite Toastmaster of the day. Any new club I open, I call Sandhya for Toastmaster of the day role. And I give her my theme also. I like her theme, that what is in name. She makes that theme so interesting that the new club members are always loved to be a TMOD for the next meeting. So thank you, Sai and Sandhya. You have not only made BKC Fireflies a learning platform, but you have kept that enthusiasm even after so many years in the same way. So thank you, keep it up. And thank you, Cynthia, for joining BKC Fireflies and getting those. I mean, I'm remembering all those our Thursdays, earlier Thursdays, I will say. Thank you very much.
We look forward to having you for many more meetings. And yeah, a big round of applause goes to her. We are here thanks to Toastmaster Pratibha. While Toastmaster Sai rolls out the voting, I would like to thank all our guests for having made it possible to be here. I'd like to invite, we had a couple of guests with us, but I guess they left the session. So now I'd like to invite Toastmaster Mahesh again to ask him at the end of the session, what does he think?
So this was, as I said, been pending for a long time. I've been wanting to attend this session, and I must say you guys did not disappoint at all. I think by far this is one of the most erudite collection of Toastmasters I have ever seen. I must say that I'm not being critical, but sometimes I feel that the Toastmasters, the way of talking ends up making you dramatic at times, but all of you, I just want to say, all of you kept it real. It didn't feel like it was a dramatic performance. It really felt like it was a speech. So kudos to all of you to maintaining that standard. It was all across all speakers, and that is something which I take back in my heart, and that is also something which I would like to inculcate as a Toastmaster. Over to you.
Great, thank you so much. That's a great compliment for all of us, because we are in the learning spree right now and getting to be better speakers. So comments like these really encourage us further. Speaker, Toastmaster Shrinidhi, what has been your experience?
I think for an online meeting, this one was quite like interactive and fun, and seeing all smiling faces. I think that was something that really stood out to me. So yeah, just the people and the enthusiasm that everyone brings in, that just made like a Thursday evening so much fun.
So do you think of joining the BKC Firefly, switching over?
Two memberships, I cannot.
Okay, so that was a test, trying to just have some more members in. So yeah, great. So do we have the results, Toastmaster Sai?
Give me 2 minutes to tabulate this and just have a couple more conversations. I'll tabulate all this and give it to you.
Okay, great. So we plan to finish it off on time. So Toastmaster Sunish, would you like to be a part of our next Toastmaster event as well? What has been your experience?
It has been great. I enjoy coming to BKC. I do come whenever Sai or Sandhya ask me. So yeah, I think last 2-3 years I keep on joining intermittently. I even Cyril, I enjoy company. He's a great friend. So BKC, I got a lot of good friends over here. Toastmasters. So yeah, that's what I love about Toastmasters, connecting with new people whom we may have never guessed would have come across in our life. So yeah, and then before you ask me the same question you asked Srinidhi, no, I'm not taking membership. But yeah, good to have a lot of friends across many clubs. It wouldn't be possible for me to maintain membership across different clubs across the world.
No, so you're assuming Dr. Toastmaster Sunish, not fair. That's being biased. So yeah, Toastmaster Aditya was excellent as far as his topic is concerned, and the way everybody complimented that topic was just awesome. I mean, it was so much fun. That especially the table topics, it was hilarious. Although they were serious topics, but the way it was put forward, some of them were really, really hilarious. So I want to really thank each one of you for making it so very exciting and so dynamic. Like the way Srinidhi said, everybody had a smile on their face. That's because each of us participated the way we did, including our guests, as lively as they could be. So here we have the results. We are 4 minutes away from winding up the meeting. The best auxiliary role. Any guesses? Okay, everybody wants to be safe. The best auxiliary role, unmute and give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Sangeeta Shruti. The best primary role has been Toastmaster Aditya. The best table topic speaker also was bagged by Toastmaster Aditya. The best evaluator, can you believe that? The best evaluator is a tie across all three of them. So I think all three of them deserve to be clapped. Who would take the chair? Oh no. And finally, coming to the best speaker, the most seasoned member of our club is the best speaker. So would you want to take a wild guess? It's the one Toastmaster Pratibha was biased about. That's Toastmaster Sandhya. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Sandhya. And I hope to see you all again in our next meeting to create more vibrations, to create more excitement, and to create more positivity. Thank you all and have a great, great evening and a great week ahead. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Cynthia. Hi. Thank you, Sai, and all.